Why don't plants ever go to school? Because they're always getting potted. Hi there, nature lovers. Today we're about to embark on a green journey, exploring the fascinating world of plants. We'll be uncovering the secrets of roots, stems, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds. We'll delve into their functions, and you'll discover how these parts work together to make the plant kingdom thrive. So, are you ready to dive into the world of plants? Hold on tight, here we go. Ever wondered why plants don't fall over? Meet the roots. Roots are the superheroes of the plant world, going deep undercover. Literally. They're the part of the plant you don't see because they're busy working below ground. And guess what? They're doing some pretty important stuff down there. Firstly, roots act like the plant's anchor, keeping it firmly in place. Imagine trying to stand up straight on a windy day without your feet. That's what it would be like for plants without roots. Secondly, roots are like the plant's personal chefs, cooking up nutrients from the soil. They absorb water and minerals which the plant needs to grow and stay healthy. They're kind of like a plant's straws, sucking up all the good stuff from the earth. But did you know there are different types of roots? That's right, there are two main types, taproots and fibrous roots. Taproots are like the big bosses of the root world. They're the central largest root that goes deep into the soil. Sounds important, right? Carrots are a great example of taproots. Next time you munch on a carrot, remember you're eating a superhero root. On the other hand, fibrous roots are like a team of mini roots that work together. They spread out in the soil like a spider's web, grabbing onto the earth and absorbing nutrients. Grass has fibrous roots. Next time you're sitting on a lawn, think about all those little roots working together beneath you. Now, for some fun facts. The longest known roots belong to a fig tree in South Africa. They reach an astonishing 120 meters deep. That's about as tall as a 35-story building. And the plant with the deepest roots? That's the shepherd's tree in the Sahara Desert, with roots reaching 80 meters deep. So remember, roots are like the plant's secret underground heroes, always holding the fort. Moving up from the ground, what gives plants their height? It's the stem. Now let's think of the stem as the superhero of the plant world. Why, you ask? Because it does so many things at once. The stem is like the plant's elevator, transporting water, minerals, and sugars between the roots and the leaves. It's also the plant's pantry, storing food and nutrients. And of course it gives the plant its height and strength, holding up the leaves towards the sun and the flowers for us to admire. Let's dive a little deeper. The stem is made up of three main parts. The outer layer, or the epidermis, acts like a coat, protecting the plant. Then comes the cortex, a sort of sponge that stores food and water. And finally, the core, or the vascular tissue, which is the plant's highway, carrying water and nutrients up and down the plant. Now here's a fun fact. Did you know that the world's tallest stem is not a giant redwood tree but a species of bamboo? That's right, a bamboo named Dendrocalamus giganteus can grow up to 100 feet in a single month. Now that's some rapid growth. But it's not just about height. Some stems, like those of cacti, have adapted to do even more. They've become fat and fleshy, storing water for the plant to use in dry desert conditions. They've even taken over the job of photosynthesis from the leaves. Talk about multitasking. And then there are stems that have gone underground, like potatoes and onions. They store food and wait for the right conditions to sprout new plants. So the next time you're enjoying a bowl of mashed potatoes, remember, you're eating a stem. So, the stem does more than just making the plant stand tall, it's also the plant's food factory. Now isn't that something? From towering giants to humble spuds, stems truly are the superheroes of the plant world. Next up, the green machines of the plant world, the leaves. Leaves are the superheroes of the plant world, always ready to save the day with their superpower of photosynthesis. They're like the chefs in a plant's kitchen, cooking up food by combining water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide. But instead of a delicious pie or a mouth-watering burger, they make glucose, which is the plant's food, and oxygen, which is a treat for all of us breathing creatures. Now, let's put on our imaginary microscopes and take a closer look at these green marvels. Each leaf has a top layer called the epidermis, which is like a coat of armor, protecting the leaf from harm. Underneath the epidermis, there's a layer of cells called the palisade mesophyll. This is where the magic of photosynthesis happens. The cells here are packed with chloroplasts, tiny structures filled with chlorophyll, which gives leaves their green color. And then there's the spongy mesophyll, a layer of loosely packed cells creating air spaces that allow gases to move around. Imagine it as the leaf's ventilation system, letting carbon dioxide in and oxygen out. Now how about some leafy trivia? The largest leaf in the world belongs to a plant called Raffia regalis, also known as the raffia palm. Its leaves can grow up to 80 feet long. Just imagine, that's about the same length as a blue whale, the largest animal on Earth. But leaves aren't just about size. Some leaves, like those of the Venus flytrap, can even catch insects for their plant to munch on. Others, like the leaves of the cactus, have evolved into spines to conserve water in dry desert climates. So, whether they're cooking up food, breathing in carbon dioxide, or even catching dinner, leaves are the plant world's multitasking marvels. And they do all this while adding a touch of green to our world. Remember, leaves are like the solar panels of the plant world, always soaking up the sun. Now, who doesn't love a beautiful flower? But did you know? They're more than just pretty faces. Flowers are nature's way of saying, "Hey, look at me!" But beyond their beauty, each flower plays a vital role in the plant's life cycle. Inside every flower, there's a mini factory that's busy producing seeds. This all happens in the flower's reproductive parts, the stamen and the pistil. The stamen, which is the male part, produces pollen, while the pistil, the female part, holds the ovule where seeds grow. In the grand scheme of things, flowers are like the ultimate party hosts of the plant world. They throw an open invitation to bees, butterflies, and other pollinators with their vibrant colors and sweet nectar. As these guests visit, they inadvertently pick up pollen from the stamen and transfer it to the pistil of the next flower they visit. This process is called pollination, and it's how plants reproduce. Did you know that the world's biggest flower, the Rafflesia arnoldii, can grow up to 3 feet in diameter? That's about the size of a hula hoop. And the rarest flower, the middle-mist red, is so scarce that there are only 2 known examples left in the world. So, flowers are the plant's way of dressing up and inviting friends over for dinner. Ever wondered where new plants come from? Meet the fruits and seeds. Let's start with fruits. Fruits are the mature ovaries of flowers that have been pollinated. They protect the seeds and help to disperse them. Think of an apple. It's a fruit, right? Inside are the seeds, waiting for the chance to become a new apple tree. And what about seeds? Well, seeds are the real stars of the show. They are, in essence, baby plants. They are formed after pollination when the pollen fertilizes the ovule in the flower. Each seed contains a tiny embryonic plant and the food it needs to start growing. Now, let's sprinkle in a couple of fun facts. The largest fruit in the world is the Atlantic giant pumpkin. Can you imagine a pumpkin that weighs as much as a small car? That's a lot of pumpkin pies. And the smallest seed? It comes from an orchid known as the fairy's parasol. These seeds are so tiny that a single gram can contain up to 3 million of them. That's more seeds than there are people in the city of Chicago. So what's the takeaway? Fruits and seeds are nature's way of ensuring the survival of plant species. They are the plant's babies, each one carrying the potential to grow into a new plant, given the right conditions. So, fruits and seeds are like the plant's babies, ready to grow into new plants. Alright, nature lovers, time to test your plant knowledge. Question 1. What part of the plant is underground? Question 2. Which part of the plant can you find leaves? And for the final question, what do we call the plant's babies? No peeking at the answers, it's all in your head. Now, don't worry if you didn't get them all right. The important thing is to keep exploring and learning. Great job, everyone, and don't forget to subscribe to GURUKIDZ Smart Kids channel for more fun learning videos.